Hello, beautiful people, wherever you are. Welcome back. It's underscore Gintu back again to the root of today. We are one-on-one live coverage that we're going to be having here right now here and starting this kind of the video. Thank you very much for everyone who's being tuned and locked in and making sure that we are just having this kind of the good moment coming to you live, which is one-on-one. It's always talking about Gintu A. Woo, woo. Gintu B, always. And the dog said they have democratized to make sure the security is tight. And they're going to be disbursing to their representative areas to make sure that there's nothing going to be intimidating nor us organizing our own affinity of the time. As we're going to be making sure that this is the first time and tackling to make sure that we are at the G Castle here, making sure that every progressive is just undergoing as the way it has been indicated. As we're going to be starting this kind of the video, everyone who's being looked and even in, thank you very much for being taken this kind of the position and making sure that you're going to be hearing much of the things from Gintu and the commencement of this kind of the video. Thank you very much for this kind of the best affidavit point, and things are going to be coming to you live, which is one-on-one. As we're going to be democratizing to get onto the G Castle here, much of the things are now getting more fantastic because we are diversing every day, every time. We're going to be having something new described here, something new coming on, and something new engaged in to make sure that we are moving. No dull moment at this kind of the pointer right now here. We have much of the people right today. They are the first time here to democratize onto the G Castle here to make sure they're going to be doing some jobs here. Local people always getting much of the jobs from the Eats underscore Gintu back again. First people who are just watching this kind of the video from wherever you are, thank you very much for you being locked. And you're going to be getting much of the affidavit points that are going to be coming to you right now here. So the security, whenever I just move, they have to move. That is the rule number one for the dog. For them to eat the food, there's no food can just come for an empty way because they have to do the work fantastic. And also, sometimes my dogs are always entertaining to make sure that whenever a visitor comes, they're going to be entertaining a little bit here and there. If they want to jog, jump, even sometimes cucumberization. You know, some of the visitors enjoy cucumberization whenever it's going on. So you can just understand whoever I'm just talking about to. So here we go. We're going to be having much of the people. You have even the small boys here. Now, you know, guys, the best moment right now here, whenever the schools are just closed here, we have much of the boys entitled to make sure that they're going to be checking on how the job is done. Not only that, oh, I'm waiting for only the food onto the table. Oh, whenever the food is democratizing on the table, we are there and it's the one who is eating like a safari rally. But now they have to make sure that they're just working to see where the money is coming from and how are you going to search for that kind of the money. And it's the best thing that the parents are introducing. So as much of the small boys, whenever they're going to be growing, not only boys, let's talk about even the ladies here. They want to be introduced so they can just know how to get their own money. Not that they should be goalkeepers every time. That's the stupidity of the highest order. The good thing is they have to know that this is how the work is and engage to do the work and earn their own money. Whatever is just coming good is whenever you have your own money. That's the good thing about it. Not that, oh, I have to depend on somebody who is just going to be coming talk about, oh, you know, help me this. Every day, help me this. It will end into another time now. You'll no longer be in terms of the friendship there. So it will just be cancelled there. As far as everything is in concern, I have a young boy here. How are you, man? So how are you?
I'm fine.
Everything is good?
Yes.
You are masked, man. Ah, I know. Protection. Eh?
Yes.
What are you doing?
I am painting this window.
This window. It's a grill, huh?
Yes.
Yeah. So you are painting. So you are a painter or your father is the painter?
My father.
Your father.
Yes.
And you?
Yeah.
You are the son of the painter.
Yes.
Exactly. What's your name?
My name is Lucas Mal.
Lucas.
Yes.
It's called Lucas. And which grade?
Grade 9.
Grade 9.
Yes.
Now absolutely going to the high school next year.
Yes.
For Form 1.
Yes.
Senior Form 1.
Yes.
Exactly. And which topic do you like mostly? Do you do art and craft?
Yes.
You do art and craft?
Yes.
Fantastic. Music?
Music, no.
No music? Home science?
Science.
There's no home science?
No.
Oh, you don't have such kind of a topic there?
No.
Oh, it's art and craft.
Yes.
Exactly. So, do you gain something from here? Do you gain something from your father?
Yes.
Or, you know, this how the soap is always coming. You understand now?
Yes.
So now make sure that everything... So I even see the clothes here. Hey, they have democratized for the job.
Yes.
So, you know, here in Africa, you understand even the contact has that kind of the clothes. Whenever, every time, every then, he's wearing one shirt. And it should be noticeable. And for eyes impression. That's why even you can see the father here. The clothes have even antagonized to make sure that the job is oriented. The job is there. And whenever he's wearing, you know, some of the best thing is whenever you just wear the clothes that you fit in and you feel them that today, let me wear this kind of, even the work goes smooth. Even during that day, you can just feel cardiologically good. And that's the best moment here. So the best thing is that we have the parentalhood and the phenotypically and the genotypically matching to make sure that everybody is just conscious, to make sure that things are happening very fantastic at the same time. So this is the best moment that we're going to be looking for much of the people being oriented. And I always absolutely render much of my subject talk about the local people should do this kind of the job. Not that, oh, I should call a painter from Nairobi for what? That will be the stupidity of the highest order. So we have much of the people here, and they can do the same job. A person from around nowhere can just do. You know, some of the time, we always are not understanding. Much of the people don't understand. That you can talk about, oh, you know, these tippers that maybe you talk about a truck. These trucks that are here in Nyabohanse, or they cannot do this kind of the job, or this kind of the tippers here, I don't know, this and this, and you go and talk about, let me go and bring such kind of a tipper from I don't know where, and bring, maybe they are the people who have problems than even the ones you are just here. They can come and the tires burst, and you start talking about, oh, I could just know and just bring such kind of people from here. So that is the best moment that we are just looking for. And we are painting and making sure that the paint is a fast coat. I think it's called a fast coat.
Yes. Fast coat.
Yeah, first coat, huh? Yeah. So it's only for the first coat, and the second coat will now come whenever they will be have fixed onto the house, and also they're gonna be painted now when the house is gonna be painted whenever it gets to the painting time, because we have subsections that are orienting to this kind of the G castle here, and everything is getting very fantastic here. So I can just see they're using a 4-inch brush, I think so, and the painting is mixed with kerosene. Is the kerosene gonna be enough?
Yes.
The kerosene gonna be enough?
Yeah.
And the painting? And the paint?
We are mixing
this one now.
Yeah.
Gonna be enough?
Yeah. It is enough.
Oh, it's enough?
Yeah.
It's gonna be enough. That's a fantastic. So you are the father?
I'm the father.
Yeah, so I absolutely talk about you are doing the best thing as a fatherhood. Making sure that the boys are democratizing to do the job. Yeah. Not that they should know where the money is coming from. Yeah. And whenever they grow, they'll know that misusing money sometimes, this is how it's being touched. So you can just know. That's why you always see men in Africa are stingy. That's the... You cannot come from here and talk about I want to eat chicken, and then you talk about then you eat the whole money from whatever you have done here. So sometimes you have to gauge, and this is called the fatherhood or the parentalhood, to make sure that they are antagonizing, to make sure that they are prompting to give the children the better place in the future. That is the best moment here. So what's your name, sir?
My name is Eliud Marwa.
Eliud Marwa. Yeah. So a painter for how long?
Just 8 years now.
8 years?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was in one company called Britain Company. I ever saw you there? You ever painted in the Britain Company? You never painted there? But I was checking you, passing and looking for the jobs here and there.
I was looking for jobs.
Exactly. During that time, I imagine me, it is like some... like 5 years ago, even me, I can just talk about I ever saw you there, and I ever knew you, but I never knew that you are the one. Whenever my brother called you, I never knew you were the one, but now I know you. Very fantastic. And it's just coming from around here, some meters from my home here, to make sure that we are giving the local jobs to the local people, which is sustaining our sustainabilities using our own people at the ground. That is the best moment that we're going to be having. So how long will you just take to paint all of these kind of the windows here?
That's 2 days.
2 days only.
From
up to the doors here.
Yeah.
So it's now the work for Fundi Duke here to make sure that you're gonna be finishing it quickly, as quickly as possible.
As tomorrow.
Exactly. So today we're gonna be taking this one and those ones here.
Yeah.
So there's another one that's no longer been covered here. Exactly. So guys, the work is continuing here. I'm always talking about whenever we have, even if it's a small job or a bisectional job, getting on, we always talk about, that is the best moment and we are moving and let's make it happen, and we are making it happening very, very fantastic. As I'm getting to the 10th minute here, I'm gonna be starting the engagement with Mr. One-on-One, which is Fundi Duke. And here we are, it's now like 1 week and a half, approaching 2 weeks.
Yeah, bro. No, there's a cement down here as a...
the esophagus is not doing work.
The esophagus is doing it.
The garret is not the garretting.
When I'm feeling like this, I can just remove it and put it somewhere there so that I can...
Put it here. It's called the tonsils. The tonsils, The tonsils are bringing some... it's because of the dust.
Because of the dust.
Why are you not watering the house so as we can just have that kind of a good moment, man?
I do forget because I see outside is wet, so I think also inside.
Whenever you're coming out, it is wet. You imagine. So you are imagining here.
So it's going to be wet.
So it is the imagination. So how is the work right now, man? Everything is good?
The work is demobilizing.
Yeah.
We are now at around 80%.
80% complete.
Yeah.
Today you are dealing with the small windows, for the washrooms.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this is the third one. You're gonna be finishing it.
Yes, I'm finishing the third one, and the fourth is also.
Yeah, the fourth one is there.
So 70%.
70%. So the time is let me check. It's 15:30. So I think that they were talking about they're gonna be painting for 2 days. So it means that tomorrow gonna be finishing and grinding. So gonna be bringing the person of grinding.
I'm going to grind for them these ones.
These small ones, huh?
Yeah, these ones they have already finished.
Yeah, they're gonna be finishing very quickly here.
So I'm finishing this one, then I grind for them these three.
Yeah.
They continue.
Exactly.
Then tomorrow morning I'll start with finishing the main door.
The main door.
The main door is 95%.
95% complete. It's
95%
just filling the spaces.
Yeah, filling
which
the
is
spaces.
even like this one here, filling this kind of the spaces here, like the way you have just filled here.
Yeah, if I come in the morning, just 30 minutes, we'll have finished it and I grind.
Yeah.
I leave for them to paint. So after the paint is when we'll put the lock.
Okay.
After the paint.
Yeah, guys, we have already brought the locks here, and they are so expensive, man.
Yeah.
Why are they expensive, man?
Because you know you can't with this
the door, the material.
That lock, we enclose it inside. We put it inside the metal.
Or inside the metal.
So it is not that lock which you can go and buy anyhow. The cheap lock which is going to spoil.
Okay.
You know, when I place it inside here and I go back to Mombasa, when it bring you problems, and again you call me because of the same lock, it is something which is
not
you
good.
can't think of, which is not good.
Yeah.
So when I place something quality inside here, and I place it in that experienced manner that when you use it, you will use it for a long time. That's why that one you got that.
So you are guaranteed that a long time it will come to an end.
Yeah, it will be inside here for so long, for like 3 to 4 years before it start bringing the problem.
So it means that it will bring some shenanigans.
No,
so this house is here for permanent.
It normally brings shenanigans, but
so why couldn't we buy the one that will not bring the shenanigans?
There is nothing which is made with human hands that cannot bring in shenanigans, even if it's that expensive.
You mean that even today we can buy something and whenever you are fixing it, it will bring some shenanigans before even fixing it here?
Yeah, if you buy those cheap ones, there is those cheap ones with the spring, which their springs inside are very tiny. When you just put a welding like this, they melt and
they suffocated the fire.
Yeah, they are very tiny. But the one we bought yesterday, I don't know if you can pause and bring them.
Yeah, they're there, and we are talking about. We have them here, and already we have to make sure that tomorrow gonna be fixing them.
Yeah,
tomorrow.
not tomorrow.
Tomorrow. They
after
should
the
paint.
Yeah.
They have to paint first.
the door.
Yeah.
They have to paint the door first. Then we. we place them.
Okay. Guys, they are so expensive. That's the fantastic moment here. And the real fact about talking about they're so expensive, they are made for the metals, not for the woods.
Yeah.
Because we have the wood locks, and also we have the metal locks, and also we have the chinku. Chinku, talk about the Chinese. You know, the Chinese, whenever they came to the market of Kenya, they took over the game. Talking about if you want the cheaper one, it is there.
Yeah.
The middle one is there. Expensive one is there. So they talk about it's upon to your pocket demand. Even as we found the one which is costing more than $200. $200 one, and we talk about, hey, my living God, this one here, it's like now
the
putting another price.
The one we found at Maro was around 16,000.
Yeah, 16,000.
At that shop, we found that it was 13,000.
13,000, yeah.
Very expensive.
Yeah, exactly. So we purchased two for the two doors here to make sure that the emergency door and the main door here, it's gonna be very fantastic, and it's very heavy in a way that even me, I have to make sure that I'm stunyering. Stunyering is meaning that I have to be cardiophagistically energized to make sure that I'm just carrying this kind of the door, or just uplifting it from down, and that's the best moment here. So guys, before wasting much of the time here, much of the action to on the spot here, to make sure that things are just continuing very special and to this kind of the area. For the people who are just waiting for Gintu, tomorrow I'll be in Nairobi. And make sure that you are, if you want to check on me, tomorrow I will be in Nairobi, very fantastic. And people of the dump site, wherever you will be, there are people talking about Ogintu, whenever you're going to be coming to Nairobi, just tell us. Tomorrow on Monday, I'll just have landed to Nairobi, very fantastic. And I'm going to be having much of the cherishment from the dump site, and also I'm going to be picking much of the things from talk about the luggage that came from the UK, and it landed to Nairobi. So I'm going to be checking on it and taking it back to Nyabohanse, and whenever I'll just have much of the time. I'll be passing from Nairobi and I'll just protrude to another city before I democratize back to the village to make sure that everything is just happening. For the people who are just waiting for Gintu, make sure that you are spotted there, and we're going to be making sure that you are going to be meeting. There's no one we talk about. I'll just be giving you the update whenever I reach there, which kind of the site I'll be in terms of the dump site, because I'm going to be getting to the dump site. Somebody who wants to support the people of the dump site, I'm going to be going any kind of the dump site. Some people can just talk about Dandora dump site, Kibera dump site, talk about the one I was it's called the Hunters dump site, and much of the things, not the Hunters choice. Much of the people here, whenever they hear Hunters, they know that it's a liquor. No. It's a Hunters, which means that it's a place which it has a dump site there. Exactly. So we have much of the dump site. I'm going to be going back to one of each again and making sure that I'm supporting and making those kind of the people cardiophagistically feel fantastic. And whenever they're going to be, I'm going to be having some gloves if I'm going to just have much of the time, so they can just give to those kind of the people as they're going to be hustling. So whenever they're just hustling, it's because that I have much of the work to do in Nairobi a little bit, because I'm engaged to much of small businesses here and making sure that things are going to be getting forward as the way we are. So it's only that we always praise the living God who has just prompted to give us this kind of the energy, and also give us this kind of the life, so as we can just make sure that we are putting the effort and lifting other people who are just down, to make sure that they are just coming to a level, not only that they will have to the same level that we are, but we can just increase and talk about, I've helped one person, so as they can just make sure that he's esquamarizing other people who are low, and they can just give them a hope, because much of the people are losing hopes. Much of the people are they have finished studies. Much of the people have finished universities, and their homes, they talk about, we have our boy or our child or our daughter, our son is in Nairobi, gonna be coming back to the village. And whenever he comes back to the village, talk about now what is he doing in Nairobi? Why couldn't he stay in the village? Sometimes I do give such kind of the hopes to much of the boys who think about it's only you can achieve while you are in town. No, you can achieve while you are where you are. Talk about even the home, because east and west home is the best, and you can do something which is totally different. And much of the people just talk about, you have to get a total, we can talk about the finance for us to start this kind of the thing. Sometimes sometimes I can talk about whenever we're just starting this kind of the YouTube platform. It was not in such kind of a manner that, oh, you should have money for you to venture into this kind of the YouTube and just make sure that you are updating much of the people, whatever comes out in such kind of a way you are, and making sure that things are just protruding very fantastic. But it's only that I hope that make sure that wherever you're coming from, whatever small you're getting, you can just invest it and make sure that things are getting forward, even if it's very small. That's why you can just see we are having much of the small talents like the boy here, making sure that you're going to be learning this kind of the things. So once upon a time, whenever you're going to be finishing the Form 4, much of the people talk about, no, are you, oh, the father, where are you? I'm a little bit busy, but I have my son. Let me call my son so he can just do such kind of a work. And maybe the son will just grow. Then the father and talk about, you know, now I have a company, now my father is the manager. That's the best moment you are looking for. But it's just venturing to the small talents from the younger they are, so they can know that this is the achievement we have to do, and this is how we can just do it. Much of the people can just hear, they can hear. Whoever cannot hear, they talk about, you know, gain to A, gain to B, gain to C, gain to D, and at long last, they'll talk about, you know, there's no finance, there's no jobs, that we have small jobs that you can just use your own common sense and brain, and also your hands only to apply. Because whenever you just check whatever is just doing, it's something that you can do. But with a profession, it's not that it's everybody can just democratize to this kind of the job and do it. No, they're just gauging. Even if you ask Fundi Duke here that which kind of a person can you render to this kind of the work, who can just do this kind of the work, it's not only that, oh, you can just come outside here once. Even if I ask this kind of a boy, hey, even the name is just forgotten, but I had Maro. How are you? Yeah, I had Maro. So Maro, I want to ask you, so how long have you done this kind of the job?
4 years.
4 years?
Yes.
So you started this once year for 4 years?
6. Yes. Starting from class 6.
I started from class 6. No, class 6, 7, 8, 9. 4 years. Exactly. So right now, you can just leave him here and he can do the job.
Yes.
That's the fantastic moment. So right now, it's only that he's a child. Much of the people talk about, no, we cannot give the child, but he can do it better. And the good thing is, look down here. What they're always checking is, look at the floor. It's not leaking. It's not having much of the paint. That's what they're looking for. So as whenever you are dipping this kind of the stuff onto the paint here, you know how you will handle it in a way that it will not just pour much of the paint down. That is how they're just doing it. And there's no paint can just come down. That is the perfection that we are just looking for. So for like whenever we're going to be finishing the school and coming outside here, he will be alternatively understanding A to Z. He might even talk about if you want me to paint this kind of the color, mix red and blue, and you'll just know the color that will come out. That's the best moment. And at long last, they'll have something to put onto the table. Right now, they are sharing to make sure that the work is moving very fantastic. I like that kind of the moment there. Exactly. So, Fundidu, why are you not orienting your children into this kind of the work of welding, man?
They're still young. Like my firstborn is 13 now.
13 is an old boy. Huh?
He knows to paint.
He knows how to paint?
Yeah.
Where is he?
You want me to come with him tomorrow?
So it's you I gave the work that, oh, Fundi Duke, do you know a person who can paint? You said that, yes, I would bring it. I thought about now you're going to be bringing your children.
He'll paint, but he cannot paint this tall one. Maybe small ones like this.
Small ones like these ones here. Because of the youngness or because of their height.
Tomorrow I'm coming with him, and you will know that
I'll no longer be available.
He has a talent. He's a comedian.
Oh, he's a comedian.
Yeah.
We Buddha, umemada? Oh, unarudi? Haya, sawa. Charges ziko hapa. Siwendi uambie nani akupatie. Huyo demo wako hapo. So the good fact is you are orienting them.
Yeah.
What do you want to benefit from him? Or what do you wish from him?
I want him, apart from what he's dreaming, I have to plant something which I know that can help him, which is helping us in him. So that when he...
Juakali industry.
Yeah, Juakali industry. When he feels like he wants to follow, to chase his dream, he's free. And also when he say that this one is better than my dream, let me stay here, he'll do it better because he started even earlier.
Yeah.
before the time I started, because me I started after finish Form 2.
Yeah.
I'm a Form 2 dropout.
Yeah.
After Form 2, I went and started, and for him, he started while he was in grade 3.
Grade 3.
Because they were learning far away from where we were staying.
Yeah.
So when I go bring them from school, they get at my workshop before we go home. So what I was doing there before the time reaches to go home, he was seeing and he was like, Dad, bring I assist you to paint this.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And
so
you can teach him small. But this one will make the eyes fall apart. This one here, this one will fall the eyes of him apart. Because this one is too dangerous.
No, this one is not dangerous when he is using the gears.
The only thing is gears.
Yeah.
Hey, but let him start while he's old. When he's old. Because right now, things get apart here. Exactly. Oh, you are brushing it fast?
Yeah.
Oh.
Supposed to do this one first.
So it's a scrubbing it. Yeah, using sandpaper. Oh, for it
Wire brush.
Oh, wire brush. Yeah, we have a wire brush. Yesterday I purchased one. I never knew that you could come two. I could have purchased 2 of them. Yeah, a wire brush.
Sandpaper.
Yeah.
Remove pieces. This one.
Yeah, I understand. So as the paint can get, or why do you always brush them?
We are using them.
For it to be smooth?
Yeah.
Oh, so as the paint can stick. Exactly, because whenever it's just having some rust in here, the paint cannot just abound completely with the metal here. That's a fantastic moment, and I like the bonding that it's always having here. So this is the movement that we're ever been doing here to make sure that we are acclimatizing ourselves to get forward, and always talking about for the people who want to make sure that they're going to be meeting with Gintu in Nairobi. Keep it tuned. Just text me and have the number and make sure that we are getting forward together to make sure that we are having the moment going forward. Hey, here we are in the Wakari industry. Too much noise here. And it's their work here to make sure that everything is fantastic. So that's the leveling.
Yeah.
You have to make it be flattened. Okay. So you can now check the window, it's just appearing. So guys, what we are just remaining on with it's just get this kind of the windows here that are just to fill this kind of a small flower, like the one that's just at the middle there, like this one here. So you can just fill them here and the other extra windows here, so as you can just get out of the brim point here. So as far as everything is just in concern, whenever I just pass through the house here a little bit to make sure that everything is just getting good here, and I can just see we are having the electricity. Much of the people are going to be asking about, where do you get electricity from? Electricity is coming from here, and it's just been tapped here because we have this kind of I don't know if it's called a fuse, I don't know how it's called here. So it's going to be like a cutout. So whenever things get apart here, it's going to be cutting this kind of the power that's just getting there, because the one that is supplying to much of the people here. So as far as everything is in concern here, we are checking if we're going to be having some leakages here, but there's no leakages that are inside here, because I always check at the brim point here if you can just have much of the leakages that are just coming out, but there's no much of the leakage. Even the gutter here, it's dry the way it has been put like today. So the fantastic moment is that we don't have much of the leakage, and which is the best moment I'm ever looking for, because we cannot antagonize to talk about, we're gonna be installing the ceiling board, we're gonna be installing this, we're gonna be doing this one, before we could have much of the things coming out very, very fantastic. So this kind of the talk about the wetness, it's not the wetness, this it's not even the wetness. Yeah, because we have some talk about the stairs at the far end point there, so they are acting perpendicularly here. So as I can just check much of the rooms here, they are very fantastic, and there's no much of the raining. That was the best moment that we are ever looking for. So as you can just not mess with our house here, so as we cannot have much of the impromptu again of making us to go and start talking about, what are we going to do, what are we doing. So even here we have much of this kind of a small gutter here. It's dry. It doesn't have any kind of the affections here. So the rooms are so dry, and we don't have much of the rain that's just protruding to this kind of the point. And as far as everything is in concern, we remained with a small section of the talk about the tilings here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. So it means that we have 2 boxes of the tiles that remained, because we still have the other sections and to the G castle at the top of the G castle that are rendering to have much of the tiling that's going to be coming on and on and on. So let me go to the upstairs there, so I can just take to this kind of the 30th minute that's just democalizing here, so I can just give you much of the things that are going to be coming right now from the top of the G castle here, as you can just understand and get and know what is really coming to this kind of the platform right now. It has been raining today from very early in the morning up to date, up to right now, and you can even see the section is very wet. So it's gonna be it was raining cats and dogs here, and that's why I want to be at the top here, so I can just check what is really happening to the top side here, so they can just know and understand what's really coming on right now and how is it coming on. So this kind of the section here, the best thing is whenever it rains and be top here, it's going to be coming to this kind of the section, and water going to be drawing back to the walling here, so that one I don't have much of the problem to do. So even this kind of the section here, some weeks ago, this kind of the top section here, it was having much of the water congestion at the middle stage of the deck here, but whenever you're going to be having the remaining of the sand that are going to be used here, you always make sure that is using to levelize this kind of the section here, so it can just level and make sure that water is coming to this kind of a spot rim here. And also we have this kind of an area that are going to be even people going to be sitting and cherishing to this kind of the point and getting much over the breezes from every kind of the section here, which is the best moment that you're ever looking for. As far as everything is concerned, it's going to be tiled, and also it's going to be tiled up to this kind of the section here. As down here it will not be tiled down, because we have much of the lightings that are going to be coming from down. They're going to be painted, and also it's going to be having some gypsum, talk about gypsum application, so as it can just be very straight, and that is the way we want to go forward. So as far as it has been raining cats and dogs, every section here, everything is just okay, and we are looking forward to make sure that that's the blessings from the living God, and that's what we always talk about. It's the best and the best. So I'm checking on everything before I can just leave from the village here. So whenever I'm just leaving, I should leave everything very comfortable at a section that there's nothing can just have some ailment, some discussion that I'll just leave behind, that people talk about, oh, again you left and this kind of the things are not working properly. Everything has to be absolutely very okay. That's why I'm always having everything put aside. Whenever I'm just leaving, I should make sure that everything is put aside, as things gonna be running very okay. So we are having an order already for the square tubes that are going to be coming for us to have to the top side here, which is called the top deck here. And we're going to be having the metals going to be democalizing tomorrow with an immediate effect, because we have already ordered them so as they can just arrive tomorrow and to this kind of the site. So as Fundi Duke, we're never going to be finishing down there, because we measured and we understand that what do we need at which kind of the perspection and at what time and how they will be, because this kind of a deck should be protected, very heavily protected with a heavy gauge. We don't use the light gauge. That is the best moment I'm ever talking about. We don't use the light gauge here. We are always using the heavy gauge materials that will buffer for us to have a very decisive area and a very fantastic moment that even whenever somebody can come, it talk about, oh, this kind of the person did something very smart. Not the one that, oh, we should use any kind of the materials here at long last, it will just bring an talk about echoes again, which is havoc at or disgustment at the end. We don't want such kind of the small issues to appear and to us whenever we decide that we want to do this kind of a thing at this kind of the particular time, at this kind of the particular moment, and do it with our own perspection and good brain at work. That is the best moment. And also for the people who are always supporting to make sure that we are moving forward, I respect and giving you much of the kudos moment, as we're gonna be talking about there's our boys who are talking about, oh, you know, I was whoever is just watching this kind of the video from wherever you are, this video is dedicatively coming to you for the people who have ever stayed in the dump site and they wish to help the people who are just living in the street. Talk about the street ghetto guys and talk about the dump site people who are just suffering there, getting their moment there. You can just wish to support and talk about, oh, Gintu, I'm gonna be supporting with this kind of the small thing in terms of cash. Whenever we talk about the super thanks, guys, it cannot come to my own account direct, which is M-Pesa. You can just use an M-Pesa direct for us to support this kind of the people, and you can see where the money is going, because the video gonna be coming after the while. The video gonna be coming showing you what we have just done at what particular time and accounting everything that we have ever talked about. I can just say about somebody can talk about Gintu, I want to support this kind of the people, and you can just no problem, I can even talk to them, and also you can just mention my name. There's no problem. Thank you much, the brother from Pentagon, whoever helped us and talking about again to go to the dump site and buy this kind of the people, the gambut. I think is the holy guy, and talk about, oh, again to have just made the kudos moment, and also asked me that where did you get the extra money for you to give them? I talked about whatever you give small. Even me, I have a heart for me even to help, because I'm there at the ground. I cannot leave such kind of the section violently and not working properly. I have to engage myself and talk about, let's get forward to this kind of the way we always move. You can just use my number +254 700 47, which is a +254 00 +2547 00 49 00 47, and you can just get much of other things that are going to be coming on, and you can just support this kind of the people whenever I'm just going to be arriving to Nairobi. And last time that I was just going to Nairobi, I met with this kind of the boy called Mawera. When I met with Mawera asked me that, oh, Gintu, you know, I understand you have a GoPro, have a camera, have everything. I know you are one-on-one, but don't put me onto the platform. I was with Mawera from Kisii town to Nairobi, and where I was living to, and I was just at the back talking about we are just moving the same way, and everything's okay. Mawera, wherever you are, nobody has any kind of the issue with you, because whenever I talk about you could be messing with the wrong people, I could just be messing with you, because I talked about you roast me, I roast you too. That is the best moment that I have. And the good thing is we always talk and always cherish each other, and we talked about going to Kal, and just we can just cherish together and make sure that we are moving fantastic here. I always talk about, let's make it happen. Much of the fools who are just onto the village here who think about, because Gintu is just talking about me here, you are now creating much of the havoc, much of the disgustment, much of the stupidity, thinking about, oh, you cannot talk to Gintu. You think about people are eating each other. It's a man-eat-man society, and you have to understand about it. Even the politicals talk about a political arena. That's how it's always being occurring, making sure that from this kind of the political area, you can just talk about, no, I don't go hand in hand with this one, I don't go hand in hand with this one, but at long last, they're eating together, and they'll just come together. The only people are just left vacant are just the suspicious of the supporters who are just talking about, no, I don't like this kind of the people. Yeah, this kind of the people, whoever they're talking about, they don't join. They're always eating together, cherishing together, dancing together, having fabrication, flirting together, doing everything together. And even the YouTubers from here, much of the people are just being fooled that, oh, Gintu is not hand in hand with this one, because whenever we talk about Nasto, I always talk about the reality, what Nasto has ever done. Whatever thing about person can talk about, oh, Gintu is not hand in hand with Nasto, we are just looking for a better place for you just to go, because we are always making sure that we are chatting outside there and always talk about, bro, I'm going to be rectifying you, and I will not rectify you mouth to mouth because you don't understand. I have to rectify you using the camera. And also I always meet with Maja KE. Always sometimes we talk about to support each other, because I always understand. I am the understanding guy in your bones. For the first fact that I can just tell you is for the people who are ever understanding, muchly understanding is me. That's the real fact. And I'm the person who can just talk about, hey bro, I'm suffering from this one, send me this one, I can do it. And I can just talk about, we have other people who are just making sure that they can just support you. Not everyone. You cannot tell me that I can just move from here and go tell somebody that, oh, just help me this one. If it's Kenya fraternity, my friend, you lose it. Much of the people right now, they think about, oh, this kind of the person is this kind of the group, this kind of the person is the other group. We cannot join, we cannot share, we cannot do anything. That's the stupidity that we're going to be uplifting themselves and think about they're going to be going far. It's no longer going anywhere because we have to share ourselves. We have to understand each other and do whatever it's just compensable for us to do. That is the best moment that I can just talk about from this kind of the point right now here. As I'm just getting to the 40th minute of this kind of the G Castle, on top of the G Castle here, I'm going to be talking about thank you very much everyone has been tuned and locked in and supporting Gintu to make sure that we are moving, because tomorrow we're going to be coming back to make sure that we're going to be having much of the materials coming in, which will be more than it's like 20 or 30 something talk about square tubes are going to be coming here to make sure that the top of the deck is going to be prepared. And there's somebody who has always supported me for me to pay Fundi Duke, which is very fantastic. It's only in Western Union. Today is going to be a Sunday, and we're going to be making sure that I'm clearing Fundi Duke the money for the windows and also the door, which is undergoing down there. That is the fact. So whoever talked about Gintu, we're going to be support for me to have this kind of the upper section for Fundi Duke. Again, we're going to be discussing on how much you're going to be making sure that we're going to be putting the metal rails on top of the G Castle to the deck side. Here we go. And also much of the people are talking about Gintu, what are going to put onto the deck here? We're going to be placing something called terrazzo, because I've already democratized with the person who ever thought about putting the terrazzo to Kenge villa there. And I'm always chatting with this kind of the people because I was the person who I saw. I cannot trust a person I've never seen. Then let me trust a person I've ever seen, like the terrazzo, because I was having the safety boots that I was ever wearing, but they wore out because of the terrazzo, because of those kind of the chemicals of the terrazzo. And I always talk about, I understand how to mix. I ever worked in such kind of the terrazzo, and that's how the moment was just getting forward for me to work in such kind of the villa for us to have the terrazzo. So the money that they always talk about, it's 85,000 Kenya shillings for the complete of the whole deck. Let me tell you how it is, guys, because we have already calculated and have seen is talking about. I have even the quotation here. I want to give a person the valid point. The quotation is here, and let me read it, guys. John the Terrazzo is talking about yeah, guys, it's here. I'm not reading something which is not around. It's called terrazzo, exactly, terrazzo quotation, which is Gintu on top here. So the date is 04 and 2025. It's the reality, the fact I'm saying about the terrazzo. It's a three quarter. It's a 3/4 chips that are just needed here. Talk about the white chips, 21 bags, which is times 400, which is 8,400 shillings. Black chips, which is 4 bags at 250 shillings, which is 1,000. A cream chips, which is 5 bags times 550, which is 2,750. White cement, which is 8 bags times 2,300, which is 18,400. Ordinary cement, which is 4 bags, which is here, it's costing 900 Kenya shillings, which is approximately 2,800 Kenya shillings. The black strips, which is 30 pieces times 50, which is costing 1,500. The hand brushes, talk about 6 pieces, which is by 200, which is 1,200. The skirting timber, 12 pieces times 50, which is 600. Non-slip timber, talk about 12 pieces times 40, which is 480. Grinding disc, which is 1 pack times 3,500, which is approximately 3,500. Smooth disc, which is 1 piece, which is 2,000, which is costing 2,000. Smooth parts, which is 3 packets, which is times 1,000, which is 3,000. Terrazzo polish 15 hours, which is times 400 per hour. 1 hour is costing to brush it, which is 1 hour is 400, and we're gonna be taking 15 good hours there for us to have 6,000 Kenya shillings there. And HCl, which is an acid, which is hydrochloric acid, it's gonna be 15 hours. Talk about which is 15 hours times 200 per each, which is costing 3,000 Kenya shillings. And we have red oxide 5 kg times 400, which is 2,000. Black oxide, which is 2 kgs times 400, which is 800. Material cost 54,000 minus the 4 cement, which is 54,630. Add 2,000. Which is the 4 cement, which is times 100, which is 3,200. Whenever you add here 3,200, it's going to be costing 57,830. And low labor charges 35,000, which whenever you can just have, which is 57 plus 35, it's going to be going to 92,000 Kenya shillings that they just need for me to have this kind of the terrazzo placed on top here. And I'm going to be making sure that you're going to be coming whenever I'm just finishing the other places like the down sea level, and we're going to be making it happen. And whenever you support Gintu, let's subscribe, like, share, because this is the very fantastic lubricative channel for us to grow and make the movement to go forward. And this is a kudos shout out to Irene Jep, wherever you're coming from. Kudos and a very fantastic moment because you have joined the team and making it happen. And I respect and talk about we are ever together. And I'll just democratize to, I think we talked about you have migrated. Tell us wherever you have migrated to. And maybe I'm going to be going to Kisumu City, and the people are just in Busia. M. Carol, talk about this other guy called On Trending. Wherever you are just, I think you are just in the western area. I'm going to be coming to the western area. So wherever you are, keep it tuned, keep it locked. I'm going to be giving you the framework and the frame point, and they're going to be coming and democratizing up with it. So I'm just ending this kind of the video from this kind of the fantastic moment and saying that thank you very much for ever being locked in and tuned. I'm going to be ending it up, and kudos the moment that you have just enclosed supporting Gintu and making it happen. Thank you very much. And for the small thing that you can just offer for Gintu, I can just talk about thank you very much, and I've just made it happen. Other things, the shenanigans, every telenovela, hula baloos, and everything is just fixed to make sure that we are moving on with the G Castle forward. No moment, no dull moment. This is the moment. This is the moment. Let's make it happen. Let's level it up. Supporting Gintu is supporting the gene and making much of the people to go forward. Our local people, and I saw much of the people talking about, oh, why couldn't you are just supporting Gintu using the super chat? Why couldn't you send much of the people are just going to school? That's a village full.